Hi, everyone, and welcome. I am Heather Thomas. I am the founder and the CEO of Together Culture. In this video, I want to talk you through top line, what our theory of change is. Now, Together Culture exists to do what it says on the tin, to gather a community of people who develop a culture of togetherness, of creative collaboration, one that ultimately has a big impact on the city that we live in and love, one that helps to make Cambridge a place where there is an economy that is far more inclusive, creative, fulfilling, and ecological than it is today. But how on earth are we going to achieve that? Do we have a plan? And the answer is yes, we do. And it's a plan that we created in 2022, having talked to and worked with hundreds of our fellow citizens here in Cambridge. And the output of all of those workshops is our theory of change. It is the future that we want to see and how we are going to make that future happen and measure our progress along the way. So let me talk you through top line, how we're going to do that. And then of course, the slides for the theory of change are here at your fingertips for you to peruse and to send your feedback, because surely it's an iterative process and together we're going to be learning as we go. Just flipping the slide here. Here we go. So we did a future backwards process and we thought, where do we want to be in 10 years' time? What is that big ambition? So by 2030, we want to have gathered a Together Culture community with thousands of people who are identifying and feeling empowered by being part of this community, a community that is creative in all the different aspects of how we weave creativity into our lives, and feel empowered because they've developed the skills and a culture of acting together so that they can all make meaningful contributions to developing a culture of creativity, of care, connectivity, and change-making in Cambridge. And we're doing that so, as I said before, Together Culture can contribute very meaningfully towards building a progressive and fairer creative economy by creating a more equitable and ecological society, a community that cares for the environment, and by building and sharing wealth far more equitably. That's what Together Culture is setting out to do by gathering this community. And then if that's where we want to be in 2033, if we work backwards, where do we want to be in 2028? Where do we need to be where we start in 2023 to enable that to happen? And effectively, our theory of change has three core pillars of activity, broken down into the green pillar, the purple pillar, and the blue pillar that you see below. The green pillar is the area that I think of as being our individual creative practice pillar. So that's how we as individuals begin to develop our creativity. And that's why we have two main strands of membership. One is our creative workspace membership for people who identify as being artists or entrepreneurs, the super creative ones amongst us. And that's why we offer workspace and facilities for individuals to develop their creative practice and to develop their creative outputs. But we also have our community membership offer. And that's what most of you are probably considering. And our community membership offer helps all of us, whether we're accountants, whether we are receptionists, whatever it is that we do in our lives, to imbue that action, to imbue that purpose with more creativity than we do today. So what sits behind the programming that you'll experience at Together Culture, no matter who you are, is something called our Living Book. The Living Book effectively takes at its core the four main values that emerged in co-design for what a Together Culture looks like and feels like. And those four values are turning up, collaborating, experimenting, and helping others. And we break those values down into behaviors and tools that can help us develop those behaviors so that we can all bring those four values into our lives. And so when you come to Together Culture programming, it is designed to help you develop those skills and effectively the process of doing everything that we do with more creativity The thinking being, we can't change how we're organizing ourselves in this world, in this city, without becoming creative. It's something that we're all going to have to do and apply to all of the different aspects of our lives. So developing our individual practices is incredibly important. However, it's only going to get us so far. So the purple pillar is all about how do we as more creative people then lean in and start working together to begin to visualize and identify new means of working creatively and collaboratively at the same time. And that's why in our prototype that you'll be experiencing over the next few months, at its heart is our citizen studio. And the citizen studio is that place where you come together with neighbors and you walk yourself through the design process. The stimulation is the question, if in 10 years' time, Cambridge were known as being one of the most inclusive, ecological, and creative places in all of the world, what would be different? Now, the idea is just the starting point. You're then going to have to lean into a facilitated process where you discuss and you make decisions based on agreed criteria with some of your neighbors, whomever's participating in Citizen Studio with you, and then you create some sort of a solution for whatever big challenge or opportunity it is that you identify. And that's helping us to develop collaborative practices with our creativity as individual community members. But what's also going to be happening behind the scenes is that artists and social entrepreneurs who are part of our creative workspace membership are going to be working together to develop an incubator so that we can agree collectively what are the themes that emerged over 6 months from our Citizen Studio process that we want to translate into action. And that's what the blue pillar is all about. It's fantastic. In the green pillar, we've developed our individual creative practice. In the purple pillar, we've started putting that creative practice into collaborative activity to make some decisions about changes that we want to see and how we want to bring those changes about. The blue pillar is all about action. So once we have come up with these ideas, how do we incubate them? How do we turn them into new social enterprises that will enable this change to happen? And the ambition is that each and every year, collectively, the revenues that are generated by the Together Culture community, that we will make decisions and we will invest at least £100,000 of the money that we've raised together into delivering the prototypes for the solutions that we will have created together. And ideally what this does is get behind that barrier of the first seed money to bring ideas into action. And it enables the community to invest in that, and also for the community to reap the rewards of those initiatives and enterprises as they scale. So by this means, this is how we're trying to actually get more people involved in participating in the economy and also redistributing wealth where it needs to go. So as you work your way through this proposal, this presentation, you can go further into depth in terms of understanding each and every one of those pillars, and also how over the space of the next 10 years, we begin to see and track that we are reaching our outcomes, those goals that we intend. And what we have done is we have mapped out our impact measures so that we know where we're starting from here with our prototype. We know where we're going within each and every pillar and what some of the impact measures are that we will be judging to see that we have made that progress. So I want to thank you so much for your interest in Together Culture. I cannot wait to roll up my sleeves and to start working with you so that together we can build a culture of care, creativity, and connectedness so Cambridge can become one of the most inclusive, ecological, and creative cities the world has ever seen. Thank you so much.